Hello and welcome back to Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. In the last episode, we started the second case, and we met. Okay, let me do it again. Hello and welcome back to Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. In the last episode, we started the second case. We didn't finish it. We started the second case, and we went to this place called the Imperial Academy, which is just a large academy for like the best mages ever. And then most of them are royals, because only royals can be mages. That's how everything works. And we were looking for something about more info about the Eye of Horus, because obviously in Celeste's trial, Tyrion just unlocked this new ability where he could kind of control people's minds and he could read their minds. Yeah. Then we met these two people, Wallace and Eris. And Eris, I'm sure she's never done anything wrong in her entire life. I trust her with all of my heart. And Wallace, he kind of might have killed someone. When we finished the episode, Wallace was arrested for the murder of Catherine Bellwether. And maybe he killed her. I guess we're about to find out. And for this episode, I think all we're going to just do an investigation to try and find evidence to prove that Wallace is innocent. Oh, and ignore this bottom save. I was just a couple months ago when I found out about this huge update. I decided to play Case 3 mostly because I saw the guy who made this said that Case 3 had a big update, and I just wanted to see that. But I only played the first part because I couldn't be bothered to play the rest. But anyway, now we're here, so 2-2 Imperial Academy Fire. A few hours had passed since Wallace was arrested. Celeste and I were with him during the lockdown, so the Inquisition took our statements. But the more they questioned me, the more I could tell that they were looking for gaps in my testimony. We would need to do more if we wanted to establish an alibi for Wallace. They definitely know how to waste a lot of time. They know who we are now. We'll have to expect more interference from them in the future. Hey, Tyrion? Yeah? Are you okay? I'm sorry for stopping you before. I know you were just worried about Ruby. No, you were completely right. I was just being emotional. You really care about her, don't you? She's done a lot for me. If it weren't for her, I would have grown up on the streets. Oh, really? It's just... What is it? What is it, Celeste? Don't you think the way she treats you is a bit cold sometimes? It's only for my benefit. I need to be the best attorney I can be if I want to acquit my clients. Still, she's your guardian, isn't she? She could be nicer to you. She's never been good at expressing emotions. I think something may have happened in the past, but I've never tried to pry. But I know for a fact she cares for me. I've seen it many times. Yeah, I guess my dad was the same in the way. I guess people show love in different ways. I know you didn't get the best first impression of her, but I hope you can get along with her. I'll try, but only because I really like this job. Really? Yeah, you're the best client I've ever had, Tyrion. I see. That's good to hear. She was probably just saying that. I'm sure she told every one of her clients the same thing. Anyways, we should get to work. Right. Ruby said that a bunch of knights were heading to Lecture Hall 2B. That sounds like a good place to start. The investigation. I hope Wallace is okay. The Inquisition isn't exactly great at treating its prisoners well. Even as an attorney, there was only so much I could do. Until I could acquit Wallace, he would be stuck in that dungeon. Let's head to Lecture Hall 2B. We need to figure out what happened. Where should we go next? The first thing we need to do is find out exactly what happened. Miss Tamora said that the body was found in Lecture Hall 2B. Let's start our investigation there. So, you know, I feel like I'm having like memories from when I first did this. I was checking my old videos and for some reason, this one and the 2 episodes after are just gone. I think I must have deleted them or something. I don't know why, but they're gone off the face of the planet. They no longer exist. But for some reason, I have like memories of this investigation part being strangely long. Like, I'm trying to remember what happened. Like, I'm pretty sure we go to the lecture hall and we investigate there. I think we have an argument with one of the sisters. We talk with the janitor as well. Like, a lot happens in this investigation for some reason. And we also meet Miriam, the woman that the twins were talking about at the start of the last episode. But I think that might be later. I don't know. I feel like strangely the investigations in this part of the game are just in this case specifically are just weirdly long. Not that I mind, because, well, I guess I'll see if I mind. But anyway, it's not going to finish any faster if I keep yapping, so. It's a painting of a man with some sort of creature on his arm. Dr. Delbert Tafros, a mage, historian, archaeologist, anthropologist, and botanist. Best known for his work in studying the history of ancient dragons. Through his work, great leaps were made in the study and development of the school of evocation. On his arm is one of the last pseudo-dragons, which are now extinct. What about this guy? This chap? It's a painting of a professor with some kind of magical tool. There's some text under it. Dr. Paul Vuorella, also known as the Archaeologist of the North. He spent many years studying and exploring the mountainous regions of Shardalon. And through his investigation, he came upon one of the many layers of the Sacred Lord. He was honoured both by the Church and the Wyverngard Historical Society for this impressive discovery. Oh. Is it? Why is the background white? I don't know what's going on here. It's a statue of some sort of scientist. There's some writing below it. Gillian Chemnitz, the inventor of early artificery. Artificery is really impressive, isn't it? It lets anyone use magic without having noble blood. I feel like I messed up Celeste's voice. I don't know. I feel like it was like, one sec. Let me try again. Well, let me get a text log. Artificery is really impressive, isn't it? It lets anyone use magic without having noble blood. I think that's better. Although the expense of owning artificery presented their own barrier. The statue's kind of weird though. It kind of looks like he doesn't even want to be here. Yeah, what was that? What? Okay, whatever, it's fine. Let's see. Let's move to... They wanted to go here, so let's just go to the classroom first. Hey, stop right there. As we try to enter the classroom, one of the Inquisition Knights stepped between us and the door. He tried to make himself look bigger, but I can see him falter when he recognized Celeste. I'm a defense attorney. We have a right to investigate the crime scene. Yeah, from what I've heard, the kid doesn't have an attorney yet. Right. I still need to talk to Wallace about that. I doubted Wallace had another attorney in mind, but I would have less jurisdiction until he made it official. It's quite alright. Let them in. Lady Steelwind. What have I told you about calling me that? While you work under me, you will address me as Prosecutor Steelwind. Yes, Prosecutor Steelwind. Oh, what's that smell? As we entered the classroom, a sour and rancid odor blew over us. My eyes began to tear up. I had to take a handkerchief from my pocket to cover my nose. Don't worry, you eventually get used to it. What are you even doing here, Steelwind? I'm here to coordinate the investigation. I looked around the room. There wasn't a single Inquisition knight to be found. It was only her. Was she investigating the crime scene by herself? Due to the circumstances, I've decided to handle this case personally. Since we've got you here, could we ask you some questions about what happened? Can I assume that you're planning to defend this case? That would make you my opponent. What do I have to gain from helping you? Right. However, I would be willing to answer your questions, but only if you answer some of mine as well. Oh, okay. Did she want to ask us about Wallace's alibi? Let's examine first. Oh, Tyrion! I almost forgot. Let me show you one of the new spells I learned. Yeah, my voice cannot go that high. Yeah, that. What was that? That is the incantation for the detect magic spell. Detect magic. Wait, does that mean? Yep, I can see magical traces while we're examining crime scenes. Well, we'll do the Repario Arcanum last. Let's just investigate the scene. What is this? Okay, so ignore the investigate thing at the top, I guess. Oh, it's up here above. It's up above all the windows. What is that? The lecture hall has a window. I feel like I'd just stay outside all day if I had to sit in this place. How long do they have to sit here anyway? Lectures here last for an hour at a minimum. An hour? No wonder all the nobles are psychopaths. Present company excluded, I hope. Yeah, you're not that bad, Aria. How have you learned so many spells if you're so distractible? I don't know. I just look at the spell formula and do it. I see. Is that not normal? Let's see. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. The investigation here is kind of jank. This must be where the students sit during lectures. Can't imagine sitting in one place all day. Have you never attended a school before? Do you seriously think a dump like Cornhaven has standardized education? I learned from books that I... She glanced at Steelwind before finishing that thought. I learned from books that I appropriated from some traveling merchants. What about you? I attended a public school when I was younger, but Mr. Moore handled most of my education herself. Huh. Oh my god, what is going on here? This is so weird. Oh, they have books here too. These appear to be textbooks about alchemy. Aw, lame. Hello, fellow. It's a painting of some sort of musician. There's some text written below it. Dr. Nicholas Gosu, inventor of the Arcane Engine. His work revolutionized trade and travel across the seas. He was well known for not discrimination between the common folk and the nobility, judging his assistants based purely on their merit. When he wasn't conducting research within the Imperial Academy, he was known to compose symphonies in his free time. It sounded like he was a man of many talents. Okay, well, time to look at the dead body. There's a chalk outline where the professor's body was. It appears that most of his blood came from her abdomen. Is that where the fatal wound was? Huh. There's a lot of blood in this puddle, but there's no trail leading to it. And there aren't any magical traces anywhere else in the room. I doubt the murderer used magic to clean it. Does that mean that the murderer attacked her in this room? Maybe, but it's hard to say for certain. Bloodstain on the body. There is a pool of blood where Catherine Belwinner's body was. The location implies that she bled from her abdomen. I know this is meant to be blood, but does anyone... I'm just gonna move on. Here we go.
Arcanum.
Ooh, purple. What? What's wrong? There's a trace of necromancy in Belwerder's blood. Necromancy? Isn't necromancy the type of magic that creates zombies? She's not just gonna get up and walk away, right? We're honestly not sure. To investigate oh god, yeah, we're gonna move on from that. But how does that implicate Wallace? Oh, he didn't tell you. Wallace Nightgrave is a necromancer. What? We believe that he drained her life force using a spell called Necrotic Blight. Necrotic Blight pulls all of the life energy from the target, resulting in instant death. This spell does not wound the target, nor does it leave any physical evidence, but it still leaves a magical trace. Spells like that tend to interfere with the divination spell we use to identify the cause of death. However, there were no visible wounds. Only a necromancy spell could have killed her. Do you have a copy of the autopsy? Oh, gee. Maybe we should just pack up things. Okay. Okay, yeah. Do you have a copy of the autopsy report? Of course, but it's incomplete because of the aforementioned reasons. Autopsy report. Died at 2:01 p.m. Body shows no sign of cuts or bruising. The alchemist report has verified that death was not caused by poison or disease. Body shows traces of necromancy and illusion magic. Cause of death is not apparent, but very likely caused by necromancy magic. This whole ordeal has put everyone on edge. This is the first case of necrotic homicide we've had in nearly a century. I couldn't believe it. I'd only read about necromancy in fantasy novels. I never imagined that I'd end up defending a necromancer. But if what you're saying is true, weren't there plenty of other mages who could use necromancy? This is an academy for mages after all. No, the knowledge required to learn necromancy is heavily controlled. Mr. Nightgrave already violated several laws simply by learning these spells. I'm baffled as to how he even got access to that knowledge in the first place. Right, necromancy sounded like some dark magic, even by the nobility standards. I'd be terrified to learn why anyone would want to learn that type of magic. The fact that he was the only known student who knew these spells makes him our only suspect. But it's still too convenient. Something else is happening. I seldom caught thoughts from Steelwind, and they usually only appeared when someone brought up her father. She was usually very composed, and I still didn't see a hint of that uneasiness in her posture. Normally, I can only see thoughts when the target was stressed or excited. Something about this case must have been rattling her. Is there something you're not telling us, Steelwind? The eye couldn't catch any more thoughts from her. Is that everything? Oh, that's nice. I think, maybe I'm wrong, if anyone in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure in the original, every time you pressed it, there would be like a thing that came up and she'd say, "Repair your Arcanum," every time. So it's kind of nice that it doesn't, it's just, you can just click it off and off like this. Okay, that is terrifying. Why were there so many? Okay, let's talk. Questions for us. Miss McCoy, it's my understanding that you were adopted. Would you happen to know who your biological parents are? Celeste tensed and shifted uncomfortably. That's kind of personal, isn't it? You agreed to answer my questions. I did, but I didn't think you meant... It's fine, Tyrion. It's for Wallace. She took a breath. This had always been a sore subject for her. I don't know who my parents are. I never tried looking for them. I see. If I recall correctly, your spell content. Your spell content. If I recall correctly, your spell content. Your spell compendium only contained one spell. That is like the first time I've ever done Aria's and Celeste's voice back to back. Not a good mix. I'm gonna be really honest, which isn't good. Oh god. How did you learn Mage Blade in the first place? I bought a scroll from a merchant a few years ago. It has Mage Blade's spell formula on it. But surely someone taught you how to cast it. No, I'm self-taught. Steelwind's eyes narrowed. She was being unusually interrogative about this. You can't teach yourself magic, Miss McCoy. That's not possible. Well, I did. Are you sure you're not mistaken? Hey, I've got a system, okay? I even learned a few new spells today. I'm sorry, spells? As in plural? Yeah, I'd like to think I'm pretty good at this. How long did it take you to learn these spells? A few hours, I think. She taught herself multiple spell formulas within a few hours. You see. I think that's all I need to ask for now. Thank you, Miss McCoy. Okay? Steelwind looked like she was deep in thought. Why was she so interested in Celeste's magic? The murder. Do you know what happened here, Steelwind? Well, the City Watch received a call from the Academy. They reported an attack on campus grounds and put the entire building on lockdown. The City Watch set up a perimeter around the building while they waited for the system to deactivate. They had to wait. Why didn't the Academy just deactivate the system manually? I'm not sure about the specifics, but supposedly the lockdown can't be shut down once triggered. It's a safety mechanism. You'll have to ask one of the Academy's admins if you want to know more. From what I've heard, you two were also present during the lockdown. Did either of you see anything suspicious? No, but we actually met the professor that morning. She was obviously still alive then. I see. That does match with the accounts from our other witnesses. She must have gone to her meeting with the Headmaster afterward. She had a meeting with the Headmaster? How long did this go on for? From 12 PM to 1 PM, about an hour before her death. If the Headmaster met with Bellwether, he might have known where she went after the meeting. Would you happen to have a map of the Academy? I do. I'll transfer it to your runestone. Imperial Academy map. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's... Okay, oh. I'm looking at, there's an entrance for the kitchen on the hallway as well. That's interesting. And we're also on the second floor. Huh. I guess I should figure that out earlier, but you know. What is it? There's only one direct path from the Headmaster's office to this lecture hall. Why would she even enter the lecture hall in the first place? Did she die here, or was she murdered elsewhere? Oh god, rancid smell. Ugh, that smell is driving me like crazy. What is that? There was a bit of an accident during an alchemy lecture a few days ago. The instructor misread the directions for an experiment. As a result, he accidentally produced this rancid smelling vapor. Vapor? It's not toxic, is it? I wouldn't be standing here if it were. It's just extremely unpleasant to the senses. They temporarily closed this lecture hall until they could get rid of the smell. how Steelwind actually used a similar concoction during the Great Night War. See, this is why I stick to transmutation magic. Miss McCoy, alchemy is a branch of transmutation. What? I could have been making potions this entire time. Foul classroom smell. Weeks ago, the headmaster performed an alchemy experiment incorrectly in Lecture Hall 2B. The resultant chemical reaction produced a rancid yet harmless vapor that still lingers in the room. So I need to check. Okay, I need to talk to her. How was the body discovered? Text log. Yeah, the instructor. It's weird to get. They give us like, so they've told us the headmaster, which is true. Since I played the game, I know the headmaster was the one who spilled it, but Aria only said it was an instructor. So it's interesting to give us extra information we didn't know. I wonder if that was just a mistake. How was the body discovered? 2 members of the kitchen staff spotted her body inside this classroom. They reported the situation to the campus admin while they attempted to save her life, but it was too late. The professor had passed away long before any healers arrived. Those 2 staff members, who were they? Valentina and Valerie Ianus. They're sisters. How are they holding up? I imagine they'd be rattled after discovering the body of their co-worker. From what Orm said, they were extremely tense during questioning, but I suppose that's to be expected. He told me that they couldn't sit still. He found it difficult to take their statements because of that. They couldn't sit still? Well, he's always making excuses for his incompetence. Who discovered the body? The body was discovered in Lecture Hall 2B by Valentina and Valerie Ianus, 2 members of the kitchen staff. According to Commander Orm White, they were being hyperactive during questioning. Why is Wallace a suspect? We've already told the Inquisition this, but Wallace was with us the entire time. He has a perfect alibi. Strong, maybe, but his alibi is far from perfect. Miss McCoy herself told us that. There was a small time period when she wasn't with him. What? Right. It was after we came to check up on you when you knocked over that shelf. We got separated and I kind of got lost in the fiction section. Yeah, so I brought this up in the last episode. I'm pretty sure that it used to be that when Tyrion knocked over the books, Celeste came first, then Wallace came after, and that was the time frame they used before. And unless I'm remembering wrong, but if I'm remembering right, I always thought that was like a little weird because like that must have been like 2 minutes. But then again, looking at the map, where is it? I never really looked at the map when I played it, so I guess going from the library up here and back, like that's not an impossible like 2-3 minute run, I guess. But there's like a lot of like practical stuff that's not wrong. But anyway, this is different, so it's good. It definitely makes for like a more strong case for the prosecution. She found an early release copy of Death at Daggerfall. She binge read it for over an hour. Don't just rat me out to him. He's my boss. Nonsense. They're well-written books. No one would fault you for that. I mean, I might fault her for that. Wait. You read them too? Yes, but... What did you think about the ending of The Uncrowned, Celeste? I found the cliffhanger to be needlessly unsatisfying. They're stringing the readers along to sell more copies of the sequel. Oh, come on! Anticipation just makes each new book that much more fulfilling. Celeste. I eat brunch with the otter occasionally. The fame has clearly gone to her head. She's clearly just dragging her feet to raise profits. You eat brunch with Altheris Duskweaver? I cleared my throat. Everyone, we are all supposed to be working right now. You're such a killjoy sometimes. Oh, oops. No, he's right. I don't know what got into me. Well, after this case is over, I'm tagging along for brunch with you. What? Hey, you tried to convict me for murdering my dad. You owe me, Steelwind. I suppose you have a point. Now that was actually really neat, because so I know, like, take a shot every time I say in the original, but back in the other version, I remember that the jump from case 4 to case 5, Aria and Celeste were like really close, and they did not interact much in the original, so I'm assuming there's going to be more interaction like this, so what we just had about the Death Set Daggerfall. I'm pretty sure that was the name of the book, but if we have more interaction like that, it's like, I'm glad, because that's definitely one of the bigger complaints I had with the original version about Aria and Celeste's relationship. Like, the final conversation with them, if you haven't seen it, it doesn't really hit that hard without, because like, it just wasn't built up at all, I'm gonna be honest. Anyway, I think that's all we have to do here, so we're gonna move. Oh god. Well, let's go to the dungeon. I looked around the dungeon, but I didn't see Wallace in any of the cells. The Inquisition is probably still questioning him. We should come back later. Okay. I'm not gonna look at this place again because we already did that before. Let's go to the hallway. Well, let's just examine while we're here. Anything? This was Lecture Hall 2B, where Bellwether's body was found. This was Lecture Hall 2D. This was Lecture Hall 2F. This was Lecture Hall 2H. One sec. Okay, so to the right. Shouldn't there be lecture halls on the left side of the wall? Because here's the storage room is over here. It appeared to be some kind of storage closet. There wasn't anything of note inside of it. I'm just going to assume that the stuff is just off screen. Yeah, anything here?
Arcanum.
Nope. We shall go to the kitchen. Hello? Is anyone there? It looks like there's no one here right now. Maybe we should check somewhere else. Well, I'm glad just everyone is avoiding me. That's nice, guys. They must have served the students meals on these plates. It was a shame they had to close the kitchen due to the investigation. There was a large sack of produce in the corner. There was some wine there too. It must be for cooking. Or the professors. There was a set of pots for cooking soups and like. There was a rack of cooking implements hanging from the wall. Several commonly used ingredients were close to the cooking area. There is a barrel full of some sort of drink. I wonder. It's probably not lotus juice, Celeste. Oh, it's a plate of bread. They probably served these as sides to the entrees. Don't get any ideas, Tyrion. What? Remember when we went to that fancy restaurant? You just kept ordering breadsticks and butter. The bread is free, I might as well take advantage of it. You know, eating that many carbs isn't good for you. It's not as if I'm gaining any weight. Weird, I've never had that problem either. There was a large cooking station here. They must have prepared the meals in bulk here. And is that everything? Any magic?
Arcanum.
You're the Headmaster's office. I actually just made his random voice up, but I actually quite like it, so I might give it to him. Oh, hello there. I wasn't expecting guests today.
An elderly man rose to his feet to greet us, his hand trembling as he walked towards us with the support of his cane. His face was wrinkled, but his eyes were sharp. His expression held the wisdom of a life long lived. I recognized his voice. He was the one who made those announcements during the lockdown. Sorry for coming in unannounced. You must be...
My name is Theodore Redmond. I am the headmaster of the Wyvern Imperial Academy.
Theodore Redmond, the elderly headmaster of Wyvern Imperial Academy. He appears to be close to Wallace and facilitated his studies in necromancy.
And judging from your appearance, you must be the protege of Ruby tomorrow. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Oh my god. They must be here to investigate the murder. Wait, Eris? I thought you went to see Wallace. Unfortunately, the Inquisition is questioning him right now. They aren't allowing visitors. He must be so scared right now. I hope he's okay. Right, she had the same experience not too long ago.
I can't believe this is happening. Why in the Lord's name did they arrest Wallace?
Examine. There's a fireplace with some burning wood. It looks pretty cozy. It's a painting of someone. He looks like some sort of professor.
That's Professor Lucas Gilbert. He was our instructor here not too many decades ago. He was quite the accomplished scholar, and well beloved by the students here. And this was all despite his lack of magical ability.
He studied magic without actually being able to use it?
Yes, he was quite remarkable. Unfortunately, we lost him to illness very early in his career.
God, that's... It's a fancy-looking chandelier. There's a window with a view of a garden. The headmaster has a nice view from up here. It's a painting of a mage, but he doesn't quite look like a noble.
Oh, that's Jason Steelwind, one of the chosen mages of the Scale Lord.
Wait, Steelwind? As in...
Yes, he is the earliest recorded ancestor of House Steelwind. Legends say that the Scale Lord bestowed his power upon him and his allies to create the first mages.
Wow. It's hard to even tell that he and the prosecutor belong to the same bloodline.
As with all the noble houses, House Steelwind had quite humble beginnings.
If only they remember where they came from. It's a small table for guests. Is that wine?
No, actually, it's just apple juice. Most of my guests are students, after all.
Prepare your arcanum.
Nope, let us talk. The murder.
This is terrible. To think that one of my bright students would be accused of murder.
We heard your voice on the intercom when the lockdown happened. Are you the one who triggered it?
Yes. I activated it when I received a call from Valentina. She reported that Professor Bellwether was collapsed and unresponsive.
The headmaster's actions. The headmaster activated the academy's lockdown system in response to receiving a call from security. The call reported that Catherine Bellwether had been fatally wounded. How does the lockdown system work?
It's an arbitrary network that's built into the walls of the entire academy. In the event of an emergency, I can activate it using a stone.
The headmaster pulled out a glowing stone from his desk. I could hear the hum of magical energy emanating from it.
Once activated, the system creates magical barriers, oh god. It's designed to contain and protect each room in the building.
Could a powerful mage breach any of these barriers?
I doubt it. The barriers can withstand a great amount of force. They block even mages from teleporting through them. And once activated, even I can't turn it off for an hour.
Academy Lockdown System. The Academy's lockdown is a system of artificery that covers the entire Academy building. Once activated, it creates magical barriers that isolate and protect each room in the building. These barriers can't be breached with physical or magical force. They also block mages from teleporting through them. What can you tell me about Wallace? Earlier you said that he was one of your prized students. We also heard that he's a necromancer. I just need to understand if that's really true.
You are correct. Wallace is a necromancer.
What? But why would he study something like that?
Necromancy is probably one of the most dangerous and scrutinized schools of magic. Its image has been tainted by myths of dark wizards, fairies, and armies of their dead. However, it does control the forces of death. It can also control forces of life.
Forces of life?
The truth is that healing magic is also classified as necromancy. Most healers don't care to admit it because of the stigma it has. But that's why Wallace is studying it. He wishes to become a doctor.
But there are plenty of mages who know healing magic. Why is Wallace being singled out?
For years, he's been studying necromancy beyond the basic healing spells. He believes that high-level necromancy could revolutionize modern medicine. Unfortunately, many among the faculty don't see it that way. Wallace doesn't hail many of the noble houses. He was abandoned by his parents at an orphanage, presumably to avoid a scandal.
He's just like me.
Many of the faculty fear that he'll use his knowledge to raise armies of undead, just like the necromancer's eviction. The Imperial Academy isn't even permitted to teach it to students beyond the basic healing spell magic.
Then why did you allow him to study it?
After everything that happened to him, I made an exception, even if I was breaking the law.
What happened to him?
I'm not at liberty to say more.
Wallace's spell compendium. If you plan on defending Wallace, will you need his spell compendium? Yes, having a client's compendium is instrumental to acquisition them. You may find that a bit difficult. After a certain incident, he destroyed his compendium. What? Why would he do that? Doesn't he need it to cast his magic? Oops, again. A spell compendium is a device we use to keep track of what spells we can cast. It's really convenient for remembering the formulas and incantations of my spells, but it's not actually required to use magic. I thought of getting rid of mine a long time ago, but they're really expensive. Luckily, I have an unattuned spell compendium right here. I'd be more than happy to give it to you if it helps Wallace. Oh, thanks! Wallace just needs to maintain physical contact with it for 10 minutes. After that,
The compendium will attune to his magic and update in real time. Just make sure that you don't let another mage like Celeste hold it. Once it attunes to a mage, no one else can use it.
Wait, wonderful. I just hope you can persuade Wallace to attune to it.
Unattuned spell compendium. If a mage keeps on this person for 10 minutes, it will attune to their magic and display what spells they can cast. Once it attunes to a person, it cannot attune to anyone else. Catherine Bellwether. What can you tell me about Catherine Bellwether?
Nothing kind. I can tell you that much.
Wow, that was a whole mess of emotions.
Truth be told, she was rather unpleasant to work with.
Can you think of any enemies she might have had?
You might as well list anyone who didn't hail from the Four Pillar families.
Yes.
It's best not to beat around the bush with these sort of things. As I'm sure you saw this morning, Asphalt was probably less abrasive than her personality. Many people in the school did not care for her.
Maybe she wasn't the nicest person, but would that really be enough to motivate someone to murder her?
She'd often target and harass students, especially those who were commoners. She even made a habit of expelling those students for the smallest infractions.
The commoners, magic can be our ticket out of poverty. I can't imagine how we'd feel to have that opportunity unfairly ripped away from you.
She was akin to a grim reaper, hanging over the student body, wishing to steal away their futures. The human psyche can only be pushed so far.
What about her relationship with the faculty?
In some cases, it was worse with the students. She'd often treat the staff like her personal servants. I've received many complaints about them for her behavior, but I was powerless to stop her.
But how? I thought you were the headmaster.
She's a close friend of the Duke of Finance. She's used her position to curry favor with the noble houses over the years. As you can imagine, the Academy's board is controlled by the nobility. If I ever tried to remove her, there would be dire consequences.
Bellwether's reputation. Catherine Bellwether had a tense relationship with just about everyone in the Academy. She had a history of bullying students from the common folk and mistreating the Academy staff. For several years, she used her position to curry favor with the noble houses. The meeting. I heard that you had a meeting scheduled with Professor Bellwether this morning. What time was this, and when did the meeting end?
Our meeting was scheduled for noon. She arrived on time, and her meeting lasted until 1 p.m.
Did anything seem off about her to you? Oh my god, stop that.
No, she seemed to be her usual self. Her usual insufferable self.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the purpose of your mission?
We met to discuss routine administrative matters. Despite our personal disagreements, we knew to stay civil when discussing professionals' affairs. To be perfectly honest, it did always feel like I was treading on eggshells when speaking with her.
But you were her superior, weren't you? Didn't she respect your authority?
We had many arguments about how I was managing the Imperial Academy. And she was very vocal about her distaste for the students accepted through my scholarship program. She was difficult to say the least.
Tak. Okay. Hello? Is anyone there? Be right there. Sorry. God, it's been a couple days. I remember her voice was like kind of like what I just did, but it was more feminine. Like, sorry, but the cafeteria is closed right now. Actually, we're here to investigate what happened to Catherine Bellwether. We heard that 2 members of the kitchen staff discovered the body. Her posture tensed at the mention of Bellwether. Oh, that would be me. I'm Valentina. Valentina Ianus works for the kitchen staff at the Imperial Academy. She works alongside her sister Valerie. She seems to be on edge due to Bellwether's murder. She was the head chef of the kitchen? She was close to my age. I knew how picky nobles were, but I imagined that their children would be worse. If her cooking fit their standards, that was impressive in and of itself. How about your sister? Do you know where she is right now? I'd like to get her statement too. Oh, she's somewhere else on campus right now. If you're with those knights, we've already told them everything we know. Actually, we're investigating separately from them. I wanted to ask you some questions about what you saw. Sure. I'm going to have to remember. There were so many details. What was that just now? What did you see? Could you tell us what happened when you and your sister discovered the body? Right. My sister and I were heading to the west exit. We saw the professor in a nearby classroom. She was lying on the floor in a pool of blood. It really scared me, seeing her like that. I used an emergency communication device to call for help. While I was doing that, my sister tried to wake her up. That is what happened. Was the professor still alive? I don't know, but she wasn't breathing, and she didn't have a pulse. She was less tense, which might imply that she was telling the truth. It's possible the attack happened well before the body was discovered. Wallace Nightgrave. What do you know about the suspect in this case? His name is Wallace Nightgrave. He's a student here. He's that scary necromancer, right? The one that makes zombies? Those are just rumors. He wants to be a doctor. But he studies necromancy. Have you ever actually gotten to know him? No, but I've heard the rumors. He's always hanging around the cemetery. I'm sure he's just biding his time, waiting for his chance to raise an army. It couldn't be helped that people thought of him that way. I still wasn't sure what to make of all this. Catherine Bellwether. What can you tell me about Catherine Bellwether? Nothing good, if that's what you're looking for. Yet another set of negative emotions. Just tell us the truth. I don't think we've talked to anyone who had anything nice to say about her. Yeah, she was a horrible person. She was really terrible to everyone. Does that include the academy staff? She always treated us like her personal servants. Sometimes she'd make messes on purpose, just so she could order us to clean it up. I thought the kids from the noble houses were bad, but she was something else. She acted like she owned the place, but she wasn't even from a noble family. The only reason why she had any power was because of our friends on the school board. I just hope we can still keep our jobs. Interesting. Why would she be worried about that? Keeping your jobs. Did you ever feel like your job was at risk because of Bellwether? Why would you say that? Just a hunch. Yeah, well, you're wrong. those eyes look psychotic. It's given like
cat who's gonna kill you.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. Meow. I, for one, plan to work here until the day I die.
She was clearly lying, but maybe we best keep that to myself for now. Okay. Oh, okay, we can. Thank God I checked if I could investigate, because I was like, I know I did it already, but I was like, oh, maybe there's something new dialogue as she's here, but here we go. Celeste, this room was close to the crime scene. Could you cast Detect Magic and scan for magical traces?
Sure. Huh? Do you think you say scan for magical traces? I'll just get out of your way then. It would be terrible if I was con that spell because I'd be done to say bye.
Before we could even acknowledge her, Valentina broke out into a sprint and fled from the kitchen. Wow, she can run pretty fast. What was that about? Oh my god, it's crazy. There's no magic in here. That's just crazy. Let's see. I think the hallway is where we go next, maybe? Yeah. I think this is Valerie, though. I spotted Valentina again. She was speaking to someone in a blue-collar uniform. I'd only met her briefly in the kitchen, but there was something different about her posture. And then there was the man in the uniform. Could he be the custodian that she mentioned? As I approached, I noticed he was slouched over. He barely looked awake. Even while speaking to Valentina, he was sweeping the floor. However, his movements looked robotic. He was just going through the motions without any awareness.
Ian, I know you're tired, but we really need you to fix the plumbing in the kitchen sinks.
Someone just died. Can't we take the day off for once?
I'm sorry, but Valentina and I still need to cook for the students.
Wait. Why was Valentina suddenly speaking in the third person?
Oh? Hello. Valentina? Oh, my apologies. I'm not Valentina. I'm her sister, Valerie.
Valerie Ianus works for the kitchen staff of the Imperial Academy. She works alongside her sister Valentina. She's softer spoken when compared to her sister, but she also seems to be on edge due to Bellwether's murder.
Are you trying to trick her or something? You look exactly the same.
I remembered reading about something like this before. You two are identical twins, actually. Are identical twins that, like, rare or like, maybe it's just because I'm a twin, but I'm not identical, but I am a twin. So like, I guess I just know about it. But like, I feel like twins are just something most people know about it. Like, maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like most people know what identical twins are. You don't have like to read up on a book to know what an identical twin is. You two are identical twins, aren't you?
Yes, that's correct.
Wait, this meant that she was the one who discovered the body alongside Valentina. Since we have you here, do you mind if I ask you some questions about what happened?
I'm terribly sorry.
But I'm those eyes. I didn't remember her having those same eyes. But this time she has a killer smile. Okay.
But I've already spent a long time looking for Jan here. I'm really behind on my work. Meow.
But Jan was also nearby when we discovered. Wow, throwing him under the bus.
I'm sure he can answer your questions.
Before I had a chance to object, Valerie quickly walked away.
Wait! Do you want me to go after her? I'm pretty sure I can catch up to her.
Kill her, Celeste. No, we don't want to scare those two more than we already have. Anyways, Valerie said that Jan was nearby when the murder happened. Maybe he saw something they didn't. Jan Hughes, a custodian who works at the Imperial Academy. He looks exhausted. He looks like he's struggling just to stay awake whenever I talk to him. Jan, was it? Do you mind if we ask you some questions about what happened?
Really? Well, whatever. At least I have an excuse to take a break now.
Chuck. Jan Hughes. So, Jan, are you part of the staff here?
Yep. I'm a janitor. I clean, and I do odd jobs here and there.
Well, apparently that's all you had to say about that. The murder. Valerie mentioned that you were close to Lecture Hall 2B before they found Bellwether. What were you doing when the twins discovered the body?
I was cleaning the house. Bellwether knocked over a vase. There were shards and dirt everywhere.
Wait, you saw the professor before the twins arrived?
Yeah, like I said, she broke the vase right in this hallway. It was probably 20 to 30 minutes before the twins found the body.
You might have been the last person to see her alive. Did you see where she went after breaking the vase?
Yeah, I think she went into that room over there.
Jan pointed towards Lecture Hall 2B. Did you see anyone else enter the lecture hall?
I'm honestly not sure. I was more worried about cleaning up the mess she made.
Well, did you notice anything off about her?
She was in a pretty bad mood, but honestly, that's pretty normal for her. She was walking really slowly. I didn't notice her at first. She basically shoved me out of her way. After that, she knocked over that vase. Then she yelled at me to be quiet. I didn't even say anything.
Jan's statement. 30 minutes before the Ianus twins found the body, Bellwether walked past Jan in the west wing hallway. He was in her path, so she shoved him out of her way. After that, she knocked over a vase and shattered it. Even though Jan didn't say anything to her, she yelled at him to be quiet. After this interaction, she walked into Lecture Hall 2B. Catherine Bellwether. What can you tell me about Catherine Bellwether? I've heard that she had a pretty bad relationship with the staff.
She had a bad relationship with everyone. Students, other teachers. I can't think of many people who actually did get along with her.
I'm sure you had your own share of bad experiences with her.
Yeah, she'd always yell at me whenever I dozed off. I hate to say it, but things are a lot more peaceful around here without her.
That was blunt, to say the least. But from what I've heard of it from everyone else, I couldn't exactly blame him for thinking that. Firing the academy staff. Valentina mentioned something interesting. She seems to think Bellwether was putting her job at risk.
Oh yeah, Bellwether was pushing all of our jobs at risk.
What made you think that?
You know those arcane constructs in the library? Bellwether was the one who put them there.
Oh yeah, they're so cool.
Well, a few weeks ago, I peeked in on a meeting she was having with Theodore. Apparently, the school board was planning to replace the staff with them.
The AI is taking over in this universe. Oh. Well, I'm sure the headmaster rejected her proposal.
I don't know. From the way she was talking, it sounded like he didn't have any say in the matter.
But only the headmaster should have authority to fire the staff. Why would she be that confident?
Dunno. All I know is she hated having commoners on campus. She was really miffed when Theodore started hiring common folk from the community center.
Bellwether's plan. Supposedly, Bellwether told the headmaster that she was planning to fire all of the academy staff and replace them with arcane constructs. The plan was overheard by Hughes a few weeks ago. Okay, thank you for answering our questions, Jan.
Sure. Anytime.
What's wrong? We still don't have any leads on our suspects. It's just a lot of people who saw and or hated Bellwether. Right. If it wasn't Wallace, it still could have been any other mage. The trial is coming up soon. We still don't know why there are traces of necromancy on the body. Come on, don't be like that. You always get to the truth in the end. Okay, just in case it ends suddenly, I thought there was... I think there's an argument with Valentina coming up, but just in case it just ends now, there was something I wanted to talk about. It was this. It would be... It's actually kind of... this, like, Jan's statement, like... if. So what I think the prosecution's case is... You can't see my mouse, but... Wallace is in the library. Celeste reads the book. Wallace walks out, goes to lecture to Hall 2B, kills Bellwether with necrotic blight, leaves, and comes back down to the library and meets up with Celeste. However, it's crazy that, like, if you think, like, practically, Ian's statement pretty much makes sure that wouldn't happen, because why would the killer walk into lecture Hall 2B, where they would have thought that Ian saw him, kill Bellwether, come back out, and not do anything with John? Like, if I was the killer, and I really wanted to kill Bellwether, and Ian was there, I would have just killed him as well with a necrotic blight. Like, I feel like, obviously I know Wallace is innocent, but like, I'm just, I don't remember this one, I don't remember the case around Wallace being, like, this impractical, even though I understand that it could only have been Wallace, because they think it was the necromancy spell that killed him. Okay. You always get to the truth in the end. Celeste, it's only been one time. And after we acquit Wallace, it's gonna be a grand total of 2 times. It doesn't matter who tries to stop us, man, king, or god. I couldn't help but chuckle to myself. Meshlakin, I obviously... Okay. I guess we still need to talk to Wallace. Let's head to the dungeons. See? There we go. Anything you want to talk about? Guess not. To the dungeons. As we arrive at the Rashholm dungeons, I spotted Wallace locked in one of the nearby cells. He was lying on the floor, muttering to himself. It's over. My life is over. Wallace? Who are you? What do you want? Wallace, it's us. Oh, right. How are you doing? Apparently, not well. Please tell me you're going to get me out of here. I keep telling them that I didn't do it, but they won't listen. I'm sorry, Wallace, but they found traces of necromancy magic on the body. They're convinced that you did this, and they're going to push your case to trial. What? No, they're going to execute me. This can't be happening. I don't was moving. I kept closing it. I can't breathe. Oh, please, calm down. Wallace, we know that you're innocent. But those knights think I did this, and they're going to kill me. I've spent my entire life learning how to deal with situations like this. If you let me represent you in court, I can prove that you're innocent.
Oh, right. You said that you were a lawyer. But I don't really have any money to pay you with.
Don't worry about that. For now, let's just focus on getting you acquitted.
What? Do they seriously want to help me? No, they must want something from me. Well, I guess it doesn't matter either way. It's not like I have anything else to lose.
That wasn't exactly the reaction I was hoping for, but at least it was cooperation.
Alibi. I don't understand. I was with you in the library the entire time. But why do they still think I'm the murderer? It makes no sense. Unless... You told the Inquisition, right? Did you tell them I was with you? Was I betrayed? Did they frame me?
He backed away from us, a look of suspicion on his face. We did, but they found traces of necromancy on the body. They believe that Bellwether was murdered with a necromancy spell. He seemed to get even more tense. I didn't think that was possible. Eris had mentioned that his studies were something he liked to keep to himself. I would need to be delicate. Necromancy. Wallace, we heard about the type of magic that you're studying.
Don't worry. The Headmaster explained it to us already. You just wanted to use necromancy to become a doctor, right?
I think what you're doing is really respectable. It's nice to see a dark school of magic being used as a force for good.
What? No. You got it all backwards. It's because of Racebound, those stupid books.
For the first time, I saw some genuine rage from him.
Real necromancy has always been about healing. Because of garbage like Ragebound, the public is calling for necromancy to be outlawed.
I think calling it garbage may be a bit much.
The nobility paid Corn Blueveil to write stories about evil necromancers. He was such a sellout. Liches are magically impossible, but people still believe that nonsense. That man single-handedly threw the study of necromancy back into the Stone Age.
I had to temper myself. He was clearly passionate about this, but I'll admit it's stunning to hear him talk about my favourite book like that.
Maybe we should talk about something else.
Spell compendium. I understand that you have some reservations about talking about your magic, but in order to build a case for you, we'll need to present your spell compendium to the courts.
I don't have one.
Eris already told us about that. That's why she gave us a blank one for you to attune to.
Do I have to?
It would be extremely difficult to defend you without your compendium. It's a core piece of evidence.
Oh, okay. I'll attune to it.
Wallace's spell compendium. Wallace Nightgrave spell compendium. It contains the formulas for the following spells: Prestidigitation, Mend Wounds, Illusory Disguise, Revive, Animate Corpse, and Necrotic Blight. And time to read like 10 spells. Prestidigitation. The caster creates a simple and harmless visual effect around their hand. This effect will last for as long as they maintain concentration on this spell. Mend Wounds. Heals the wounds of the target over the casting time. Wounds on the target are magically healed without leaving any scars or bruises. This spell can't restore missing limbs, nor can it revive someone who has already died. Illusory Disguise. Places an illusion on the target to completely change their visual appearance. The disguise moves with the target for the duration. The disguise can make the target look 1 foot larger or smaller. Elements hidden by the spell are made invisible, and elements created by the spell are purely visual. You cannot make physical contact with it. Revive. Floods the target with life energy and attempt to resuscitate them. It does not heal wounds sustained. Results aren't guaranteed. It cannot resuscitate someone who has been dead for more than a minute. Animate Corpse. Reanimates the target using life energy, creating an undead minion for the duration.
The minion follows the caster's orders, but its intelligence is limited and it cannot speak. The minion can end the spell prematurely, but will only do so if ordered by the caster. Once the spell is ended, the undead would return to be in a dead body. I understood why he was studying this type of magic, but the spells in his compendium sounded fairly gruesome. It was a little terrifying to know that spells like this even existed. Sorry, a long time ago, I showed my compendium to someone. After she saw my necromancy spells, she told everyone in the academy. That's when Professor Bellwether started coming after me. That must have been difficult for you. After that, I didn't really talk to anyone. What about Eris? Yeah, I guess Eris was there too? Huh. It seemed like it was a difficult time for him. No wonder he had so much trouble remembering. Something similar happened to me after I left my hometown. Oh god. Wallace and Eris. Wallace and How did you and Eris become friends anyway? Who is she? There's something off about her. There was another hint of fear from her. Sometimes the other students would steal the ID number off my locker and switch it with another student's. They thought it was funny whenever that student got angry with me. Eris had a bit of a reputation around her school. Everyone was scared of her, even the students from the nobility. Probably due to some baseless rumors. Huh. One day, someone switched my ID number with hers. I was so scared when she came up to me, I couldn't even say anything. But she didn't get angry like the others. She just apologized and gave me back my nameplate. After that, she started talking to me whenever she saw me. Necromancy. So, I have to ask, if it's caused you so much trouble, why are you still studying necromancy? I want to become a doctor. The headmaster told us the same thing, but why are you learning spells that can steal people's life force and raise the undead? Life and death are two sides of the same coin. That's the key principle behind necromancy. The first undead was actually a failed attempt to resurrect a human using magic. Right now, necromancy can only heal injuries and wounds, but I can't do anything for diseases or deformities. If I could just keep studying, I know I can develop necromancy beyond that. I might be able to create spells that can cure terminal diseases. Catherine Bellwether. I think I can already guess, but how is your relationship with Catherine Bellwether? If no word got out about my spells, Professor Bellwether would always find reasons to punish me. She started yelling at me for even the smallest mistakes. It was pretty obvious she had it out for the students who didn't come from the noble families. That's terrible. I'd wake up each day, scared that she'd notice me in the hallways. I knew how to avoid her and stay out of her way, but sometimes she got bored and come looking for me. I can't believe that after everything she did, she's just gone. I'm sure you have mixed emotions about what happened. I honestly don't know how I feel about it. To be honest, I always wish she would just disappear. You know, listen, Wallace, as your lawyer, I would recommend that when we're in the dungeons, don't just say, you always want her to disappear. It doesn't actually make you look good. Even if it's how everyone feels, maybe just don't say it out loud. That would be an idea, maybe. But now that it's finally happened, I just feel even more scared. It feels like she's going to come back as a ghost and haunt me. I think I'm starting to put things together now. Have you figured something out? Yeah, I need a moment to think through everything. Oh, here we go. The prosecution wants to implicate Wallace despite his alibi. They wouldn't have a reason to do this unless the evidence heavily implicated him. How does the evidence implicate Wallace? We've learned that Wallace is a necromancer, and he's the only person at the academy that's capable of high-level necromancy. It's the necromancy. A magical trace of necromancy was found on the body. Yep. There's a trace of necromancy on the body. This means that they think Wallace used one of his necromancy spells. Even without seeing the traces, it's pretty obvious that magic was used on the body. Right, there aren't any wounds on it. and the autopsy report found no signs of poison or disease. Which spell do you think Wallace used? If I know Prosecutor Steelwind, she probably already has a theory on which spell he might have used. The prosecution will probably argue that Wallace used one of his spells to kill Bellwether. No, I might be... Okay, thanks Tyrion. I might be crazy, because I'm going to be completely honest. I took a little break between recordings. You won't see that because of the magic of editing, but I'm recording the second half of this video on a different day. But I think I remember yesterday, or like 40 minutes ago for you guys, I'm pretty sure Steelwind told us that she thinks he used the necrotic blade. Like, maybe I'm crazy, but I'll have to check it when editing, because I swear she definitely did just tell us that. They will probably say that he used necrotic blight. That makes sense. Necrotic blight would have drained the life force from a body. Blood stain under the body. Evidence updated. There is a pool of blood where Catherine Bellwether's body was. This is strange because she wouldn't have been wounded by necrotic blight. But that's where the contradiction lies. Let's suppose that Wallace did kill Bellwether using necrotic blight. There's something at the crime scene that wouldn't be there if that were true. The blood stain, right? What is wrong with the crime scene? Bellwether's body was missing. The house to be floor was covered in blood. I think that makes sense. Necrotic blight doesn't wound you. I was trying to say something about the body losing blood, but I think this makes more sense. Lecture Hall 2B's floor was covered in blood. Oh, never mind. No, it is the body. Bellwether's body.
Maybe.
Oh, okay, sure. Necrotic blight is a spell that doesn't inflict any visible wounds. I don't think there was blood on the body, it was just, it was fine. Necrotic blight is a spell that doesn't inflict any visible wounds. But if that's true, there shouldn't have been any blood at the scene. But then, what really happened? That's the last piece. And if I had to guess, the information we need is being hidden by one of the witnesses who discovered the body. Valentina. She's definitely hiding something. Did you notice how she reacted when I asked you to scan the room? Yeah, she ran away. She didn't even try to be subtle about it. With the way she reacted, I think she may have been trying to hide herself from your detect magic. Which can only mean that there's a magical trace on her. I wonder what she's trying to hide. There's only one way to find out. The next time you see her, can you cast detect magic from afar and scan her? Alright. It's been a while since we talked to her. Valerie also mentioned that they still had work to do today. She might be back in the Academy's kitchen now. Bye. To the kitchen we go. I think this is the last stop for today. So, those two are finally gone. I can finally get some cleaning done. We approached the kitchen from afar, making sure that Valentina wouldn't spot us. We were pretty far away, but Celeste had the eyes of a hawk. It must have been a skill she picked up from her days as a mercenary. There she is, Celeste. Right. Just don't shout that incantation like you always do. I know that. Repario Arcanum. Huh. What the? What is this? There's a trace of magic on her. I knew it. Which school of magic is it? It's necromancy. There's a trace of necromancy on her. What? Valentina has magical trace. Valentina has a magical trace of necromancy on her. Someone had cast a necromancy spell on her within the last 48 hours. I just remembered. Okay. Is she going to be okay? What if the real killer cursed her or something? I still wasn't sure how to deal with everything, but if she was in danger, we were obligated to tell her. For now, let's talk to her and see if she saw who cast that spell on her. If all else fails, we can confront her with the evidence we have. Oh, it's you two again. They're back? Okay, just relax. I just need to repeat what I told them. Unfortunately for her, she had far more troubling matters to worry about. Magic on the body. Miss Ianus, there appears to be traces of necromancy on Bellwether's body. That's because the necromancer killed her, right? That's the thing, if that were true, a lot of the evidence we found doesn't make any sense. I think someone else cast a spell on the body. Ugh. She became even more tense than before. Is it possible that you saw someone using magic on Bellwether? No, definitely not. Calm down, there's no way they know. Her thoughts were an open book now. If I beat her in an argument, her thoughts might show me what she's hiding. Oh, already know her perfectly. Did you see something? Valentina clearly knew more than she was letting on. She found the body alongside her sister, and she reacted strangely when I mentioned someone may have used magic on the body. What was she hiding? Yes. Let's see. Valentina Ianus is extremely on edge due to some aspect of the investigation. For whatever reason, she's hiding something that occurred when she and her sister discovered the body. It's clear she fears the repercussions of what happened, but she may respond even worse to threats. Miss Ianus, from the very beginning, I felt like you've been hiding something from us. There's something that you're not telling us about. Well, what are you talking about? My conscience is clear. I've told you in the night everything I know. I've got nothing to hide. My testimony was fine. My conscience is clear. Okay, well, oh god, it was... Okay, I feel like I'm meant to see the thoughts and emotions right now. I think it's empathy? Miss Ianus, it's clear to anyone how nervous you are. I can practically see the fear emanation right now. It's clear that you're hiding something from us. Just tell us the truth. Let's say I were hiding something, which I'm not, by the way. I don't have to tell you anything. Why should I tell you anything? You're not even with us knights. Appeal. My client is innocent. By withholding your testimony, you're condemning him to a wrongful conviction. You have nothing to lose by telling us what happened. I know you're not the murderer, and I'll make sure you're protected. You've already given your statements, so not threats. She already said that, so what is it? I think it's appeal. Never mind. My client is innocent. By withholding your testimony, you're condemned him to a wrongful conviction. Yeah, so what? Why should Aria care about what happens to that necromancer? Damn it. She clearly didn't empathize with Wallace's situation. Rationalize. Oh, really? Huh. I didn't think it would be that because it specifically says she might respond even worse to threats, but okay. You have nothing to lose by telling us what happened. I know that you're not the murderer, and I'll make sure you're protected. You say that, but what reason do I have to trust you? I barely even know you two. She was right. She had very little reason to trust us. It's fine, I'm just getting all the dialogue. Trust. You've already given your statements to the Inquisition. If the truth comes out, what do you think they'll do when they realize you lied to them? So, who are you protecting, Miss Ianus? You're talking mid-game, but I bet you can't actually prove anything, can you? You keep trying to say that I'm lying to protect someone. I don't know anyone who can use magic. I don't even know any mages, and I definitely didn't see anyone use magic on the body. I can only assume it's the magical traces. You can't hide the truth from us, Miss Ianus. What? How did I know? You said that you've never even seen a necromancy spell before. If that were true, why is there a trace of necromancy on you? What? There's a trace of necromancy on me? What? She seemed to be genuinely surprised about that. Was she unaware that a spell was cast on her? No. If she didn't know, she wouldn't have avoided Celeste back then. There had to be an explanation for that. necromancy on you. This is crazy. Why is there a trace of necromancy on me? Did that guy curse me? Am I going to become a zombie? That was strange. She seemed genuinely worried. Was she really unaware that a spell was cast on her? No, she ran away from Celeste when Celeste was going to scan the crime scene for magical traces. Why doesn't Valentina know that the spell was necromancy? She knew that someone used magic on her, but she didn't know that spell cast on her was necromancy. It was probably just a healing spell, right? The spell cast, and Valentina healed her, I think. Calm down, Miss Ianus. Not all necromancy spells relate to the undead. Healing spells are also from the school of necromancy. Healing spells? Oh, it was from that time she healed that cut. Someone healed a cut on her? Was that Mage's student here? Sorry, I just remembered that there's something else I have to do. I'll be right back. Before we could say anything, she quickly walked out of the room. She seemed to really want to avoid talking about that mage, but why was that? Hey, when I'm done talking to you, do you want me to catch her? I'm pretty sure she can't outrun me. The Inquisition are still patrolling the surrounding areas. They'd probably intervene if we started chasing one of the witnesses. Oh, but we weren't able to learn anything. Actually, I did learn one thing. She has a friend who cast a healing spell on her. Really? How did you figure that out? Good deductive reasoning. Well, healing magic is also a form of necromancy, right? I guess that explains why there are magical traces on her. It's a good thing that a necromancer isn't actually trying to kill her. Wait a minute. Why were there traces of necromancy on Bellwether's body? The killer. A mage cast a healing spell on Bellwether. That's it. What? This whole time, we've been wondering why there were traces of necromancy on the body. It wasn't because someone attacked Bellwether with a necromancy spell. It was because someone used a necromancy spell to try and heal her. Oh, I get it. It doesn't matter what type of necromancy spell someone uses. Traces from the school of magic look exactly the same to me. It's not just that. The body clearly bled at some point. Why was there blood despite there being no wounds on the body? The healing spell closed the wounds on Bellwether's body. What would happen if someone used a healing spell on an injured corpse? It would close all of the body's wounds. In other words, it would remove any cuts or bruises. So that's why they couldn't find any wounds on her. Well, interrogating Valentina may have been a dead end, but at least it helped you figure that out. I'm not so sure that was a dead end. What makes you say that? Why would she go to so much trouble to hide those traces on her? It's too coincidental. The wounds on the body were healed by an unknown person, and the person who found the body is hiding the identity of a healing spell cast on her. What if they're the same person? I doubt she'll give us the opportunity to find out for sure. Yeah, she's definitely on to us. We'd done everything we could for now, and we had plenty of evidence to poke holes in the prosecution's case. And if that didn't work, we just have to drag Valentina onto the stand and pull the truth out of her. She clearly knew more than she was letting on, and she wouldn't be able to run in the courtroom. I'm telling you, that girl used magic to scan me. Calm down. We don't even know who they are. Didn't you see them, Val? Those two were unreasonably attractive. Okay? But what does that mean? They have to be nobles or something. Commoners don't look that good. Tina, calm down. What if they find out what you did? They can't prove anything. The Inquisition already has our alibi. Alibi? Well, what? Oh, it's just you, Jan. What are you two... That's not even remotely close to his voice.
What are you two talking about?
We were just talking about those two investigators. It's so weird, right? Like, why are they so attractive? Why do you keep
Move on. Investigators. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, you mean that blonde kid and the girl with the sword?
They talked to you, didn't they?
Yeah, they asked me a bunch of questions. I think they're investigating Bellwether's murder. What did you tell them? Oh, not much. I saw Bellwether a bit before you two found the body, so they wanted to know if I saw anything.
Did you see anything? Was that Valerie or Valentina? Okay, it was Valentina.
No idea. I just told them about how she shoved me before you two discovered the body. After that, the guy just kept going on and on about getting to the truth and finding the other suspects. Good lord, I think I'm gonna be sick. He seemed really interested when I told them Bellwether was gonna fire us.
What? Why would you tell them about that?
Oh, it's not as if it makes any difference, right? With Bellwether gone, I'm pretty sure we'll see a few more paychecks before they fire us.
Valentina cursed under her breath.
Damn it all. That's probably what they're thinking too. You okay? You don't look so good.
Let's go away, Jan. Don't you have any work to do?
Ugh, don't remind me.
By the way, I made you lunch. It's on the front counter in the kitchen.
Thanks. You're a lifesaver, Valerie.
They have our motive, Val. They have our motive, and they're gonna find out what we did. You don't know that. Why did Jan have to go blabbering about Bellwether planting those two? And why do you keep making meals for him? He doesn't even do anything. What? I'm just gonna come out and say it. I have to run a 2-person kitchen meal every meal to feed these pampered kids. He just laces around and complains about the job. Tina, he's overworked. Like hell he's overworked. Every time I see him, he's either napping or barely working. Have you been around the campus? Have you ever seen it dirty? No, but he's the only custodian on staff, and the school board won't let the headmaster hire more. He barely has enough time to sleep. Why do you think he's tired all the time? Scale Lord, I'm really sorry. I just... Are we really going to be okay? Everything is going to be fine. We just need to do our best and keep our stories straight. Have you been able to get into the library lately? No. The knights are patrolling around it. There is really hoping we can get one last study session for you before they fire us. Yeah, it's too bad. So, I'm going to end the episode here, and I think it's an interesting way to end the episode. It's interesting to basically tell us that Valerie is the mage, even though it's pretty obvious that if someone was the mage and only Valentina knew it, it would probably have to be Valerie, but I'm pretty sure we spend the next episode just proving that Valerie is the mage. And I hope we do more, because it feels a little wasted to spend an entire trial day just proving something that we pretty much already knew was a fact. Like, even though I know we have to prove it to the court and stuff, it's just a little bit wasteful to just spend the whole day going over something we already knew. But anyway, I guess we'll find out what happens next time. And with nothing else to say, that's it for me. Bye bye.